Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sharing the Trip with Matt. Today I'm talking to Timothy from The Perpetrators.
Hey, I'm trying to get this audio working there, Matty. Can you hear me?
Yeah, mate.
Oh, I can hear you. Righto, that's
Yeah.
good. How are you?
Good, yourself?
Yeah, not too bad.
So
Thanks for
you're
having us.
Timothy or Anthony?
I'm Tim. I'm
Yeah.
Tim. And Humpy's gonna join us in a second. I reckon he won't be too far behind.
No worries. Is a
Trying to get a
no?
bit
Is that a
get a bit.
Brooks and Dunn t-shirt?
It is a Brooks and Dunn t-shirt.
No.
Good eyes.
Is that because you like it, or is it a kind of controversial?
Oh no, I
Fucking,
like it. And I fucking love country music, man. It's something I've
don't
got a
answer
very
that yet. We'll talk
yeah.
about that later because that's one of my questions.
Where are you based?
Wollongong.
Oh, you're in Wollongong. I'm on the Gold Coast.
Oh,
So if
that's where I
you,
grew up. I'm a Palmy boy.
oh, you're a Palmy boy.
Yeah.
You're probably hang on.
I grew up
You're
with
probably
pheasant.
in. You're probably We're in the middle of the Gold Coast air show at the moment. I'm just on Broadbeach, and they got
Okay.
the Red Bull air show going on at the moment. It's got planes flying all over the place, probably making a bit of noise in the background.
Can't hear
That's
shit.
yeah, but I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear. But there's nothing. I mean, about 12 tiger moths just flew over my head about a minute ago,
Uh,
and they're doing loops. And I thought, I hope they fuck off.
yeah,
But
that's what I
they
was
seem to
thinking the
have.
same. I
Mm.
was thinking of the same thing about the dog next door.
Yeah, I've got a dog here that's just barking his head off every time the planes go past. Not much you can
Yeah.
do. There's nothing you can do.
Mm.
But yeah, I haven't had a
So,
chance to check out any of the other videos yet. So I'm
that's all
going
right.
in blind. I'm going in blind here.
Excellent.
Yeah,
That's the way I like it.
yeah, good, good, good.
Yeah. It's not your normal interview kind of thing. Yeah, my questions are pretty fucking Timothy Leary sort of
Oh,
shit.
good, good work. I,
Yeah.
I like that. I can handle that. But
Yeah.
yeah, Humpy should be along pretty soon. We've been trying to get this going for a while, but I was expecting it. I was thinking it was going to be happening yesterday for some reason, but you guys changed the days, so I thought, oh, well, doesn't bother me.
Yeah, we used to do them Saturdays, but due to my editor's work schedule,
Yeah,
we had to knock it off to uh fucking Sundays. Yeah,
yeah. Oh, that's all good. No, I had
or
a
work.
pretty big. Oh, it was probably worked out better. I ended up going to the footy up here yesterday. Went watched the Suns versus Carlton over at the AFL over at the Gold Coast up here. It was just turned into a massive day. So it's all worked out. I can just chill out today and do this, which is good.
Yeah,
I'm on the non-alcoholic beer too, by the way.
that's all right. I'm all
Mm.
drinking enough for both of us.
And I was hey, look. Have you met Humpy before? No.
He likes his
Oh,
piss, eh?
oh God, he's in. Sometimes the man can be a bottomless pit,
Yeah.
but he holds it well.
So you're on the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Are you going to Vinnie's to see Kathleen Turner Overdrive and
Um, I don't have
Mark?
anything scheduled to go, but I've been to a heap of shows at Vinnie's since I've been up here.
Yeah.
But the last one I
Well,
went to, I went. What's that?
I was just saying this one's going to be a good one. It's a band from Canada,
Yeah.
um, Kathleen Turner Overdrive, Forklift Assassins, and Used Goods. I
Oh,
think
okay.
are they local? Are they a
I'm
Gold
not
Coast
sure.
band?
I'm
Yeah.
not sure. Honestly, I haven't really have much time to get out and check out the local scene at the moment. Like I said, I've been to a heap of shows there. I went. It's a couple of local bands I've seen. But Used Goods sound familiar. I don't think I've seen them though.
Okay.
I went and saw
Well,
Cosmic Psychos. Went and saw Cosmic
yeah,
Psychos there a couple of weeks ago. I think that was
okay.
over Easter. That was awesome.
Who was the sport act?
A band called Miniskirt.
Okay.
They're pretty good. I think they're from like central northern New South Wales, like Casino or somewhere. Maybe like Armidale out that way. They're pretty
Okay.
good.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there was another band on. Can't remember who they were. They were from WA. But it's a good venue. Just depends if you get a decent sound mixer on the night.
That's it. How long have you been living on the coast for?
I moved up here just at the end of 2019. So back when sort of COVID was happening and they had just opened the borders, I snuck up from Newcastle because I got a job. I ended up because I'm a chef by trade, so I ended up getting a job working on the Elvis movie up here.
Oh, really?
Work on the Baz Luhrmann movie because basically just due to COVID, a lot of the basically all the Hollywood industry came out to Australia and they just used the studios. And they're world class studios up there, like Philly Show and Warner Brothers. So I got a job in catering, and that sort of lasted a few months there, and I got out of that.
Man.
And just decided to stay up here.
Yeah. Talking about movies, down here in Wollongong, we're actually about 15 minutes walk from where I live. There's an old Coke works, and that's not cocaine or Coca-Cola.
Yeah, Coke like Coke and coal, like coal and
coal. Yeah.
Here he is. Fancy
We're talking Coke, are we? All right.
Yeah, but like the productive kind.
yeah. But anyway, it's a big fucking area full of trees and that, and they just made the new Planet of the Apes there.
Oh, so there's a fourth one coming out.
Yeah, and it was all them. They filmed it all just 15 minutes walk from my house.
Oh man, I love those new Planet of the Apes movies are the best.
Brilliant, man.
Aren't they brilliant?
Oh mate. Fucking and I don't know, not to put anything on Charlton Heston, but like
it's a completely different beast. You can't even compare the two, right?
Yeah.
They're a completely different style of movie. And I remember back in sort of early 2000s, there was Mark Wahlberg Tim Burton made and that was a bit of that could have been great, but it was just that was tried to be a bit too much of a tribute to the old one, but it was just a bit of a flop, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, the new series is the storyline's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it's intense.
Yeah,
it's really intense.
My kid's just my kid was just sign language.
How's Humpy going? Where's Humpy?
I just want to check if I got this on the right way for you, Matt. Would you need me to go?
No, perfect, mate.
Cool, man.
Perfect. Yeah,
I'm good.
See, you're only going to see people pop up when we talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's all good. It's been forever since I've seen you, Tim.
It has been. I think the last time we were getting served Chinese food by robots down in Coolangatta.
She was a sexy robot too, wasn't she?
Oh, she was. It reminded me of that Frank Zappa. What was that Frank Zappa song?
Just like
Joe's
a Cuban 47.
Yeah, like where he goes to the first church of applied
Appliantology. You're one sexy vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. One sexy Chinese. Oh, look. And I don't think anything could make a robot more sexy than when it's delivering fresh, hot sizzle plates from a Chinese kitchen, right?
Have you seen these things, Matt?
Right.
The robot waiters?
Yeah. No, I've seen them, but not in person or in robot.
It's amazing.
Man. I had no idea.
Well, I think why it became about is like when these restaurant owners could invest in one of these robots and it'd be cheaper than paying staff because after COVID, like people started realizing, oh, we get out of going to work here
Yeah,
because you can get an income,
yeah.
from the government. So they just replaced them with robots, and
Yeah,
and,
they
and
don't have
it's
the
crazy.
personality.
Oh yeah, they do. They're carrying Chinese food, Humpy. They got all the personality that they need.
Well, they actually, I saw a thing, which was like at first I thought, am I gullible? But yeah, saw this thing in over somewhere in America. They've actually drones. They're Uber drones.
Yeah, for
Like,
like Domino's and
yeah,
Amazon. Yeah.
yep. Like,
Well, I saw in China there's fully automated McDonald's shops, McDonald's restaurants over there. There's no human staff. They'd have a human come in and stack the machines,
yeah.
and just robots run the whole thing.
Fuck.
I
Yeah.
had a rather heated, drunken discussion about this just the other night. What the fuck
Go on.
do the 15-year-olds do now? So
Yeah,
when you're 15, you go get your first job. Donny Yannicke's ringing me. They go get a job.
Donny, the men are talking now, Donny.
That's right. The men are talking, and it's on the same device. So I have to talk to you later on, Donny. Yeah, what do they do now for a job? Like the things that teach them how to be half decent humans. What do they do?
Well, they still go out and get jobs. It's only the ones that want to go out and get jobs, right?
But what jobs do they get?
Whatever ones they want, really.
But a lot of the jobs that those kids would go for are now automated.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, look, I think,
got
you know what,
eight
Humpy, I think that's a problem that the 15-year-olds need to face, and, it's not your problem anymore.
Oh, no.
It kind of is your problem still.
My problem for a few more years.
Yeah, it is, actually. Says the ignorant guy with no kids.
I've got 8 of them, and like I've seen shit, and it's like 15-year-old wanted blah 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 must have experience. And like,
Yeah.
How the
What,
fuck
back
is
chatting?
15? Hey, stealing dad's smokes.
That's right. What can you do? Well, I can leave me dishes everywhere. I can chuck me undies at mum to wash, and I can tell people to fuck off. Oh, you must be 15.
Pays $39 an hour.
That's right. And it pays. Yeah. What do I get time and a half for Saturdays?
Yeah.
You got to work for free on Sundays, though.
That's right. Sundays are free.
So where did your project you're doing now? Where did you get the name for that?
The project we're doing now.
The project,
Yeah.
as in Porn Logic.
I don't know which band we're actually
Okay.
doing.
We're talking Porn Logic.
Yeah,
Porn
so
Logic?
we'll keep
Yep.
things on Porn Logic.
Yeah.
Well, we're currently not doing that project anymore. This is but we sort of are by sitting down and doing this, aren't we? Really?
It is. It's nice to talk Porn Logic, though, because we haven't talked
Yeah.
Porn Logic in a while.
Yeah.
To answer your question, Matt, 2015. I left Headbutt. I had a few, yeah.
Man.
I was back with Headbutt back then and back now, and I had a few songs up me sleeve, and Tim and I knew each other from way back when. Our old band Chaos 69 used to play with Tim's old band Schlauncher back in the early 2000s. We used to do lots of shows together, so we knew each other for a long time before then. And we decided, I had a few songs and said, Tim, you want to come and play a few songs with me? And he said, that sounds like a plan, and sent him the songs. And we had a drummer at the time who, his name is Nathan, and he was playing in a band called Room 13. And Room 13 featured the son of Craig Gaga Fisher from Headbutt.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, a few months on, Nathan sort of couldn't make some jams and all that kind of stuff. Tim said, "I know a guy," and that's where my life changed.
Yeah, it
And
did, really. So that's when we brought. Yeah, that's when we
So
brought
I've actually met you.
Yeah.
I've just realised I met you at Diamond Dogs, I think.
Yeah.
Fuck, I just realised.
Yeah, I play guitar and headbutt.
Yeah, I am so senile, man. Yeah,
we were drunker then.
All came flooding back. Right.
That cunt on stage.
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah.
my wife's not really into punk, and she goes, that was just fucking mad. She loved the way you all came out in with no shoes, just a pair of shorts. Fucking, she said that. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, Gaga and Josh, they're famous for it.
Mm.
Fucking funny. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, Tim introduced us to Al, and Al is this lanky Seattleite. He'd been in Australia for what, 20 years or something?
Yeah.
And he was the funniest cunt on the planet.
Oh, but in a dirty way that you couldn't have him hang out with your mum and dad on a weekend.
You don't introduce him. You don't introduce him to girls.
No. No.
We lovingly called him the Load Master.
Yeah, I saw a truck the other day. It was I was driving around up in the Gold Coast, and there was this B double truck carrying like rubble and shit like that, and up the side of it, it said the Load Master, and I just thought, there he is. He's still floating around us.
He's watching.
But he was an awesome drummer. He was just such a great drummer. Like, but he sort of came from that real sort of prog metal background, so he was right into Rush, and he was right into Dream Theater and all. He loved Tool and all that shit, didn't he? He's
and
more into
really heavy shit, Mayhem.
Yeah, Mayhem.
Yeah, he was his ability to like. It's what's funny, like with what we were doing, is Tim and I'd sort of have any idea, and this was probably the joy of porn, was you could have any idea, throw it at each other and go, all right, you're right, do this. So we'd have sort of the guts of a song, and then you take it to Al, and Al would go, right, yeah, it does this, and you'd have fucking some wacky shit happening within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
No idea was too stupid.
But I think a lot of the time was like, I remember you'd be looking at you saying, Al, just go, boom, boom, just give us a rhythm that we can dance to.
Couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it, but eventually you got it.
I'll send you some links to some vids, Matt, because he was fucking awesome to watch play.
Yeah.
Just honestly, and he hit so fucking hard.
Yeah. Well, he had this snare built. He had this snare built in Germany, and it weighed like, just the snare alone weighed like 13 kilos.
Oh, it's huge.
And it cost him more money to have it shipped out here than it actually cost to make the snare.
It was fucking solid brass.
Yeah, it was solid, like 13. No, it was 13 millimeters thick around the like the actual drum.
Yeah.
And it weighed like so heavy. Like it took two people to lift the snare.
That's why we played rock paper scissors to see who'd help him lug it. But you've never seen me and Tim run so fast.
Yeah, so I think we talking past tense about Al because he passed away in 2021. He got bowel cancer, and he was gone pretty quickly, wasn't he? Which is
once my mum died from that, and once you get it, it's
and he didn't let on to me anyway.
No.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, he it's funny. Right before he passed away, he years before then, he gave me for Christmas or my birthday or something a model truck, a Kiss model truck, because we're all Kiss fans.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how sick he was. And he rung me up. I think this was around the September before he passed away, and he rang me up and said, Humpy, you want me to put that model truck together for you? No, mate, no, I like it in the box. I'm no good at models and that kind of stuff. I said, but I really like the box. Oh, I'll put it together for you. No, it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, coulda, shoulda, woulda. But back to where we were. So we got Al in, and I had half a dozen songs. Did you have any songs on that first album, Tim?
Nah, I had some contributions, but I don't think I had any songs.
Yeah. Oh, you definitely helped out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the joy of it. Was I could have an idea, and you run it past, because, well, Tim and I have some very strong similarities in our music. Kiss, Gore, AC/DC, that kind of stuff. We have some very vast differences as well.
Yeah.
Which is really good, because you sort of get, the kind of line you're going for, but you're getting the different shades on either side.
Yeah.
And then I think it was Easter 2016 we recorded the first album.
Yeah, in a couple of days,
In a couple of days, which had such hits as Everybody Knows You're a Wanker and Cunt.
Mm-hmm.
And Porn Logic.
Sam Neill, a song about Sam Neill.
Sam Neill. Thank you, Anissa, for that one.
It turns out Sam Neill's actually heard the song.
Has he heard it?
Yeah. He's heard it, but I haven't actually confirmed that, but I have a reliable source.
Well,
if he hasn't heard it, he's well aware of it.
I'll tell you what's funny about the Sam Neill song. It's spelt incorrectly.
How's it supposed to be spelled?
Double L, I think, in Neil.
Oh, yeah, right. I didn't know that.
But yeah, we did that. We did that at RTN with Jeff, where we do everything except the second album. And then we went out and did some gigs. Did some fucking funny gigs. Did some great gigs. Did some good gigs.
Yeah.
And then we did the second album a couple of years later, which was funny. It was very different to the first one, I thought.
Oh, yeah. Sonically different, but we'd all sort of written stuff for it. It wasn't sort of, we'd written some new songs since then, and it just sort of evolved into its own beast from being just some songs that Humpy had sitting around to getting them off the ground. And for the second time around, it was just sort of, it gained momentum, and it was kind of easy songs to write. They weren't they just sort of flew out, really. Not the most. We weren't reinventing the wheel by any chance, by any means.
No, but what it was, I reckon, like you had things like Dry Suburb.
Yeah.
Remember when we did that and we figured out, if I go and you went,
yep,
whatever it was.
Sure. Ooh, artist, mate.
Artistry. Just shit like that. What if we turn this bit around? What if we do this? Fucking
you might say that we produced it.
You might. But even stuff like Al in Wanker,
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah. And there was no 1, 2, 3, 4. It was more like tick, tick, boom.
But yeah, that was the thing. And look, I mean, some of the really good gigs we had. We did some shows with Crapula Skigor. That was with Kundalinis as well. We did a few shows around Newey. We did some shows with a band from Melbourne called Littlefoot.
Oh yeah, I remember.
One of those shows was the worst show ever. Remember that one at DY?
DY, yeah, the Time and Tide Hotel.
That's the one.
Yeah,
we played like champion, but what they don't tell you about the Time and Tide, and I'm talking to you people in the Northern Beaches, is they do not support travelling bands.
Okay.
We went. There was us, Littlefoot, and then two bands who were really good from the area, and you'd have a crowd come in for them. Travelling band would come on, they disappear.
Yeah. Kind of happens like that everywhere, though.
So
it sort of does.
Yeah, but I didn't even give you a chance to hate you. They just weren't there.
You create a compelling argument there, Humpy.
Like, I'm fine if somebody walks out. I'm thinking of the Ham Station. If somebody walks out in the middle of a show because they don't like the song or they don't like the swearing or whatever it is, that's fine. You don't like it. I've done that because I don't like it. But at least have a listen.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, fans. Listen to bands.
Hey, so what was on the stereo when you guys were growing up? Like, what did your parents subject you to?
Oh, what did our parents subject us to?
Yeah, when you were only little tots, what was on the stereo?
Oh, Tim, go for it.
Billy Joel. There was the Billy Joel. We got. This is where I was really young. What's that?
Was that Mark Clack or Park Clack?
Park Clack. See, we got Billy Joel, we got Charlie Pride, we got Chad Morgan, we got a bit of Men at Work, and Kenny Rogers, a bit of everything. It wasn't really, then my mum's. We could be subjected to anything from, like I said, Billy Joel to Andrew Lloyd Webber. Got everything. But we sort of had, that's hence why sort of get to a certain age, you go, fuck, I just want to I want to hear what these Sex Pistols are like.
Yeah.
Then you start listening to then you realize, oh shit, that's me. That's my sound. Then growing up, you get in Nirvana. And I came up in the area in the time of the grunge movement when I was an impressionable teen. And that was happening. Then always been a Kiss and AC/DC fan though, but now I've just blown there's no fences up anymore. I listen to country, I listen to punk, I listen to pop music, I listen to everything now. Which when you're little and you don't understand how important that music is that your parents play, because it does play a part.
It does. When I was 7, it was a family day thing down on Sydney Harbour, and they had a little stage out on. I was 7, I think, and they had a stage out in Sydney Harbour, and it was Ted Murray Gang, John Paul Young, and AC/DC, Bonds AC/DC, and I don't remember shit. I remember. It
sounds like an Albert Records bonanza to me.
2SM used to do a lot of gigs like that. They did one at Victoria Park as well, and it was the same kind of thing. You had AC/DC. I think you might have had Billy Thorpe. Those kinds of bands, just fucking huge. What a great time to be alive.
Wouldn't it have been awesome? My very first concert is, like, I tell everybody that my very first proper rock concert that I went to was Bon Jovi on their New Jersey tour in 1987 or 88. But that's my first rock concert. My first actual concert that I was ever dragged to was John Williamson at the at the old Newcastle Workers Club before the earthquake.
Really?
Yeah, and that was sort of, I don't really regard it. Yeah, it was like, maybe I was only like 7 years old, 6 or 7 years old at the time. So that's sort of, oh God, there's so much in there. I've listened to seen lots of music and heard lots of music. And I don't plan on changing that anytime soon. But I couldn't listen to him now. I couldn't listen to it. It just kind of makes us, it's a bit too ye oldie. I feel that's. Oh no, I don't want to start talking about Paul Kelly.
No,
that's better not. There's music that depresses the shit out of me, and there's music that makes me feel really good. Paul Kelly's in that former category that I just can't handle.
Oh dear. My first concert was The Sweet.
Where at?
Civic Theatre in Newcastle. First proper concert. It was the band opening for him was a band called the Party Girls, who were, they were probably 18 to 20.
Yeah.
And I was, I'm going to say 15, maybe 16, but probably 15. And we were out the back of the Civic having a dry cigarette because, you're underage.
Yes.
And we're sitting there and we're talking to these girls. No, chat. Oh, you beauty, talking to girls. How good's this? And we're sitting there, we're like second row or something. And out come these girls on stage. it was hilarious.
Was it them?
Yeah, it was them. And then I met Paul Day, who was singing for The Sweet at the time. I met him many, many years later at work. And
So he would have been the first singer of Iron Maiden, right?
He was.
Yeah, right.
And relayed that story back to him and had a good laugh. He remembered the show. That was before he moved out here.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because he lives in Newcastle, doesn't he? He lives in the Newcastle area.
I think he still does.
Yeah.
Still plays. Yeah. The Sweet. They were good.
Mm. I like drinking non-alcoholic beer because it's feels like I'm in an airport. I can drink it any time of the day.
I've got to go to a fucking cricket thing this over. So anyway. I've been buzzed all week, so why not keep it going?
Yeah, I'm sure you have been.
Anyway, back to Porn Logic.
Yes. So what other questions do you have for us, Matt? You mentioned that, is he still here?
No, he's left.
He's left. It's just you and me now, Humpy.
All right.
All right. Okay, we're on.
The lunatics are taking over this asylum. Oh, he's back.
That's what I like. I like to just shut my mouth and sit back and let guys just ramble on. I fucking dig it. That's what the show's all about, doing shit like that. So
mate, we could go for days.
Oh, we could.
What's on the stereo now?
Probably some envelopes.
Yeah,
You go first on that one, Humpy.
I've been going down. There's a secondhand record shop down the road from me called the Mosh Pit. Hello, Kel. And I've been trying to spend a bit of money down there. And so listen to whatever comes out of that. So most recently, that's AC/DC, it's Van Halen, it's Sacred Reich, Pistols, Venom, all kinds of stuff. If I'm listening to, if I'm just chilling out, Spotify is fantastic for that kind of stuff, and I just put on, play some Super Suckers or some Monster Magnet or something like that. But yeah, every now and again you got to play out a classic record and just go to town,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I just got Dynasty on vinyl for the first time ever in my life.
wow.
Oh really? I've got 3 copies of Dynasty. I think each one's got a scratch in a different spot.
Yeah, Charisma jumps like a bastard.
Yeah.
I've got a T-shirt that says Kiss 1980. I was there.
Yeah.
And I was.
Were you?
Yeah, fuck yeah. I was sitting next
Yeah.
to my mum. I was sitting next to my mum with earplugs, and my sister, who was only a few hours, only a few half, she was right out the front. She was only 4 years older, but she was right at the front. This was in Brisbane, and I've got some memories. Like 1980, I was 12. So, yeah, and Gene Simmons got stuck flying across the stage. Yeah, they had to bring out this big ladder and fucking these guys going up there and unhooking him and
That's show business, baby.
I don't know. Have you heard of Mark Welsh, the Welshman? He was in Asylum, Have a Nice Day.
No.
No.
Well, he lives on the Gold Coast now. He's
Yeah, right.
He's an amazing fucking guy, this dude. Like for my 50th, he not screen printed the fucking what do you call it? Spray. Anyway, he made me this fucking insane Charlie Manson shirt. It was fucking amazing. And yeah, he's put. Why is he even in this conversation? Wait a sec.
Because he inspired you.
Yeah, he made the Kiss shirts for the 6.
Oh, okay.
He made 6 of them for the 6 people. Well, 5. He went with 4 friends, and he made me one because I went, and I showed him my tickets, and he goes, "Yeah, valuable." You
gotta have your original ticket to get the T-shirt.
Yeah.
Don't make sure just edit the part out because you don't want Gene Simmons to hear that.
Do you remember the Festa Fanatics?
Probably want his, huh?
Do you remember the band Festa Fanatics?
I love them. He played with them.
Was it them? Oh,
Yes.
I have to look. I've got a CD somewhere. There was a song called "I Didn't Fight the War, but I Bought the T-Shirt."
Yes.
Yeah.
Was that Festa?
That's Festa. Yes.
I didn't fight the war, but I bought the T-shirt. Awesome.
That was brilliant. Like Rolo, I remember seeing it was New Year's Eve '86, I think, and it was the Stupids,
Mm-hmm.
the Hard-Ons, the Festa Fanatics, and Bad Ronalds.
Oh shit!
Which was Rolo from the other band he was in, huh?
Yeah.
What Blowhard? Rolo
Yeah.
from Blowhard. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, he was vocalist for this band called the Bad Ronalds.
Okay.
And, which, if you Google it, Bad Ronalds was a pretty sick movie. But yeah. Mark Welsh, he had a lot to do with the Festa Fanatics.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Asylum, like, are you from the Gold Coast?
No,
I live on the Gold Coast. I'm from Newcastle.
Okay. Because, see, but you missed the playroom, didn't you?
The playroom? Yeah.
You never got to go.
Never heard of it.
Oh, fuck, I feel like going inside. I've got a Besser brick. When they pulled the place down, I took a Besser brick. Because I lost my virginity going to that place. It was a nightclub. It was a nightclub, and I went there from the age of 14 till 35. When I was 35 when they knocked it down.
Yeah, wow.
It was the playroom, Bombay Rock.
Oh, that was that down sort of? Was that sort of down? That's on the Gold Coast, yeah.
Yeah, Bombay Rock.
It was on like it was more up like Tallabudgera.
Yes, it was on Tallabudgera Creek.
Yeah.
You walk out the door, and you can jump in Tallabudgera water.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard people talking about it.
As soon as you go over the bridge, there was the playroom. Yeah. Fuck, it was a mad place. It was a mad fucking place. Thursdays had $1 drinks, and it was $5 to get in, and all beers $1. Bottom shelf bourbons and all that $1.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was great.
We used to do it. There's a venue that's just closed up down here, or up here, depending where you are, the Cambridge. And the Cambridge is, one of those places that everybody's played at. Because we're about the same age, mate. When I was in my early 20s, they were famous for their trays of dollar spirits. And, of course, there was no responsible service of alcohol back then. and you go get a $20 tray of bourbon and cokes. Shit bourbon, but it would do the job, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
But fortunately, I didn't lose my virginity at the Cambridge.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't.
Carpet sticky enough.
No, I didn't mean sexually. I meant like my
Oh no, we interpreted it as sexually.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
No,
So, so can you please not try and talk yourself out of this one now, Matt?
No, I went to. It was my. That's
Trust me, it makes for a better story.
And Tim, if we were telling stories of losing virginity at nightclubs, do hand jobs count, or does it have to be full penetrative sex?
I think for the purposes of entertainment, a hand job can count.
I think we've got a new song.
All right, you send it through. Send it through. Yeah.
The only gig I've been to where I've had sex with someone I just met at the venue was in Townsville at the Sound Show, and it was Dire Straits. And yeah.
Were you the Sultan of Swing?
But
he was definitely doing the walk of life.
yeah, it was money for nothing, and she was 60.
She was what?
60.
Yeah.
Look, any hole's a goal.
I don't agree.
Oh God.
I know Brooks and Dunn, yeah. But what's your favorite genre?
My favorite genre, that's just, I can't answer that. Really, I can't answer that. It's just, I get benefits from lots of genres.
Oh,
Tim is truly a man of colours.
You're driving down the road. You're driving from Sydney to Melbourne. You've got a CD of every genre. What would you put on?
Oh,
first?
okay. I like this. If I was going to go a hard rock, I'd have to have AC/DC's Highway to Hell. I'd have Highway to Hell or Thin Lizzy's Jailbreak.
Yeah, nice.
If I was to have the punk record, I'd have the Clash's Combat Rock, and I'd have Rancid's Out Come the Wolves, and I'd have Nevermind the Bollock. I'd have, for Australian music, I'd have Midnight Oil, Diesel and Duff. If you had some country, I'd have some. I wouldn't know. I'd have some Hick Tape or some Morgan Wallen or some Hardy, or definitely some Brooks and Dunn and some Willie Nelson. And jazz, keep jazz away from me. But I'd also have some Bootsy Collins and some Parliament Funkadelic.
Yep.
I keep it mixed up.
That was my
What's that?
That was my next question. What's your worst genre?
Oh, see, they're all the worst genre, though. As good as they all are, there's also crap in every genre, right?
Yeah, but there's also a gem in every genre as well.
Yeah, true. Worst genre is probably the genre that I'm least interested in would be probably EDM, electronic dance music. Oh God, anything along those lines.
Yeah.
I've actually been subjected to some K-pop lately,
Oh no.
and K-pop's actually pretty good.
Okay.
Very technically advanced, and it can be kind of heavy.
I'll have to give it a try then.
Yeah, but
like metal stuff.
yeah, and some of it's like obviously because they're these, these Asian kids that have been brought up in fairly strict family environments where they've got to practice their instruments as part of their education. Then they realize they get to a certain age where they just these young virtuosos really. They can sort of play anything, and the production level of it is pretty insane.
Yeah.
We went. Remember the road trip, Tim? We played down on the south coast.
Yeah.
and we had our van, and like when you're talking about what kind of music do you play, I
Yeah.
think we went from everything from Metallica and Motorhead
Yeah.
to big band swing type stuff. The Tower of Power, fucking
Tower of Power.
Morris Day and the Knights
And the time.
at the time.
Yeah.
You know, Prince could get played. You know, Slayer could get played.
Yeah.
You know, and it's good to have. You can't just eat. You know, as much as I'd like to, you can't just eat steak every night. You know.
Yeah. Exactly.
There's good stuff everywhere, but as long as it's got soul, like that's what is really worrying me about like modern music at the moment. Is it's just so production line.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the same.
You mentioned the Tower of Power there, which is Matt. One of my favourite bands ever is Huey Lewis and the News. Absolutely fucking love Huey Lewis and the News. But the Tower of Power, they're both out of San Francisco. So basically, all the horn section from Tower of Power always toured with Huey Lewis and the News.
Wow.
So there's always a good link there between those two bands. Like, they're just so big and brassy, you know. And it all just comes down to good rock and roll and good soul, you know. Like Humpy said, it's got to have soul.
Yep.
Got it.
Got it.
Yeah, of course.
But at the end of the day, they've got to write good songs. If they don't have good songs, it's not really anything, is it?
Exactly. What would
The thing is, you're right, yeah.
Sorry, guys. If you were given the opportunity, did you answer the question of your worst and favorite genres of music?
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Again, like Tim, I got lots, metal, punk, rock. That's where I live. I might go a bit sideways on, Zappers and some of the more alternative stuff, Tisms and that kind of stuff. Worst, as I said, anything that I can listen to pop music if there's guts to it. But like a lot of the shit that you hear at the moment, it's just so, I call it McDonald's. It's just so production line, This is the formula. And we can deliver it every time, And I know, like, I was watching an interview with Kirk Hammett from Metallica yesterday, and he was saying, they've got a formula. They've got about 5 formulas, depending on the type of song they want to write. This is what a Metallica song sounds like. But, at least if you listen to the lyrics, you can see they're coming from a personal place, or they're coming, with a meaning, or there's something to it. Mm-hmm. Whereas you listen to some of this new stuff, and I don't get it. And I know I sound like an old man, which is probably the point of Porn Logic, But, I just don't get it. A lot of it.
There's so much music out there that you don't need to get all. You've got one set of ears, and you can only listen to one song at a time.
Yep.
So there is, and as long as you keep making music, you're just adding to that pile. You can't replace all the golden stuff. Like, all the golden stuff's already been written. There's not really anything new coming out, really, at the end of the day. There's new stuff, but everything's been done. They're not going to read. There can't be another Beatles or the Rolling Stones or Led Zeppelin.
Of course.
You can, but they're like the legacy of music, really. That you can be inspired. Lots of bands are still being inspired by those bands, but like Humpy said, it could really just be a clone, or it could be reinterpreted.
Yeah.
Well, it's got to be. It has to be delivered with like a certain level of honesty.
Yeah. That's where the difference lies. There's only 12 notes to choose from. There's as different as we can get. There's a finite number of notes, and there's certain melodies that are going to work. But the standalone part is the human experience, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Which is why songs like Everybody Knows You're a Wanker stand the test of time.
Will stand the test. Yet here we are, nearly 10 years later, still talking about it. It's funny that with Porn Logic, and I thought about this earlier, is that we weren't together for very long as a band, and we didn't do a great deal of gigs. We might have only done 20 gigs all up, but we still seem to have affected a fair few people. And it's and we, and you've taken the time out today to ask us questions about it, and I still get asked questions about Porn Logic, a couple of times a month, so it's still kind of cool. In a way, it's still alive.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Hey, say this is one for both of you. Say you were given the opportunity to do a 5-band gig. What bands would you?
To be on the bill.
Yeah, what bands would you put on that bill?
Oh God, Kiss.
Hang on. Let's assume the impossible, Tim. Let's assume Al's still with us.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dead or alive? In the fucking charts, not in the charts, like anybody.
Yeah. That's okay. We're with you here, but we got to assume Al's in the picture still.
I think we can both definitely agree on maybe 70s era Kiss and Bon Scott era AC/DC.
Yes. I would say. Oh God, so we'll like that as 2 bands.
Porn Logic.
Well, no, would we be the 5th band or the 6th band on the bill?
We'd be opening, so we could sit back and watch the rest.
Yeah. Well, you'd want to have. Rush would have to be on there.
Oh yeah.
For Al's sake, so we don't forget him.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Can we have Blondie just so I can hang out with Debbie Harry in the 70s?
Yeah, because but Humpy, if you have the Blondie now, you get Glenn Matlock from the Sex Pistols is in.
Oh yeah, but who wants 80-year-old Blondie?
And I heard she shits in a bag too.
What do you say? I missed what you said.
I heard she shits in a bag.
Wouldn't you? Look, any bag's a good bag. But I'd say you'd have to have the Sex Pistols.
Yeah, I think so.
On that bill, and you'd probably have. See, I'd want to have late 80s era Midnight Oil.
Yeah,
because you can't go on. You can't go on after those bands. So we'd have to be the opening act. Yeah. Humpy, for old time's sake, I'm going to let you pick one more band.
I just want to know how much Debbie Harry's selling her bags of shit for.
If you need to ask, you can't afford it.
That's right, I can't afford it. Oh man, there's too many good ones. I don't know. Honestly, impossible question.
It is.
You think of who is?
Well, can we just let's say Gore? Let's say Black Sabbath. Gore.
No, not Gore. Gore with Brocky.
Oh yeah, of course.
I want Brocky back.
Brocky. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
I got to see Gore in Sydney. I never thought I'd ever get to see him, and I saw them with Brocky.
Yep.
And they were at this little festival, and they I think Megadeth were headlining, and it was at Sydney. It was at Moore Park in Sydney.
Okay.
And Gore on this little side stage, and it was not long after Oprah had come out to Australia and did her TV show from Australia. And Hugh Jackman famously came in on a zip line onto the stage, at Oprah's stage, and he hurt his eye. He hit himself.
Yeah.
So when Gore a couple of months later came out, Dave Rocky's come out with his bit of white gaff tape with a string, red string on it, and he crudely drawn a little eye, made a little eyeball out of it. He came out and said, "This is Hugh Jackman's eyeball," and he flung it out, and I caught the eyeball, and I stuffed it in my pocket, and I had it for ages. Then I hung it above my bar. I had a bar at the back, and I had it hanging there. And we had this storm one night, and it blew off, and it never saw it again. So my little bespoke bit of Dave Rocky art has gone into the ether.
Hey, we're getting a buzz when he talk. Is there something?
I'm hearing that. I'm hearing that from you as well.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hearing all along.
Oh, really?
Is that gone? No.
I don't hear it. My producer was here, said he heard it.
Yeah. I'll move this. See, there shouldn't be any electrical thing over there.
Oh, I'm sitting outside. I've got nothing around me. So.
He said he heard it more when Tim was speaking.
Yeah, it's always so.
Yeah, that's my electromagnetic field that I have around me.
Yeah.
Your magnetic personality.
Oh, it is. Can be.
Hey, have you been on a bill you shouldn't have been on?
On a what?
On the bill you shouldn't have.
Oh,
Sex
every
single gig.
It doesn't change anything, has it?
Nah.
Nah, it's fucking noisy out there.
Yeah.
A bill we shouldn't have been on.
Yeah. You know, like the Sex Pistols went over America and played in front of a bunch of cowboys. Did a gig in Texas and
I have in other bands, but I think with Born Logic it was pretty straightforward. We were sort of running it in a scene that was all kind of similar. But with other bands I've been in, we've been out of our depth a few times.
I remember a gig we did with Schlauncher. Chaos did with Schlauncher.
Yeah.
At Raymond Terrace.
Perfect example.
Like, we were bad enough. We were playing similar kind of music to Headbutt, so you know, the old sort of punky stuff. And Schlauncher was more arty, I guess.
Yeah, heavy punky kind of alternative
probably
stuff.
They were probably more Faith No More. We were more Sex Pistols.
Yeah, good point.
And this pub was used to bands playing AC/DC and the Angels.
Yeah.
And we almost got run out of town. Schlauncher got run out of town.
And we basically played for the local footy team. And I think they had as I remember, they lost their game that day. So they're already in a shit mood.
Yeah.
You know, they were getting ready to throw chairs at us.
That was funny.
Yeah, but look, we're still talking about it. They're probably still talking about it, and that would have been nearly 20 years ago.
Yeah, but we just been known as that shit band.
Yeah, that's okay. that's okay. I've been called worse.
I'll tell you another gig I did. We're playing. Where was it? Out near Penrith. I can't remember the suburb, but this was with Headbutt, like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, and we were playing with, I want to say, the Blurters. It was like a ska band, and we're playing in this pub, and it's a family pub, so there's families there with kids having dinner and eating their chicken schnitzels and their little cheeseburgers and stuff, and we come out, you know, cunt of a day, and you get fucked up and all that stuff. They weren't happy. I once got paid not to come back to the JR. We were playing. There used to be a nightclub in town called the Jolly Roger, and on a Tuesday night they'd have strippers and a band playing between the strippers.
But Matt, these weren't just strippers; they were members of the public that were allowed to go and strip.
They weren't good strippers. They were pretty average.
It was an amateur strip night where anybody from any member of the public could go in and have a go.
Man,
Sort of like,
if
you'd sort of like you'd compare it to open mic night.
if they sold them in supermarkets, it'd be the back of the shelf at IGA with a black and gold label. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And
with the use by date crossed out.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, it's still good.
Still good.
That's a
Still
7.
good.
So at the time I was in a cover band and we played, just the normal cover band type stuff. But we were all just fucking pissheads. We were all bad. And our bass player who was famous for drying his pot on his head. So he'd have his amp going on because the amps get so hot. He could dry his freshly picked pot on the
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Hello.
You good?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're playing, and our bass player basically was standing there playing bass, fell asleep on his amp while he was playing. He was just out of. Anyway, the manager of the nightclub, who was very famous around here, Victor, comes out the back, give us our pay, which might have been $150 for the night. And he gave us $300 and said, "Go get some lessons and don't come back."
Fuck yeah.
Oh, it's funny.
That's good.
Like most people would take offence to that. A real badge of honour. It was good
It is
fun.
a badge of honour. It's encouraging.
And that's honestly when we got together. To me, anyway, that was the spirit of the whole thing. Was have as much fun as you can. It doesn't matter who cares. Couldn't give a fuck if nobody cares. We'll do it for ourselves. And I think that's the bit that endeared us to people. Like we mentioned it before. We had a song called "Everybody Knows You're a Wanker," and this song is it's a country western song. Is that it? Everybody knows that you're for a wanker. Everybody, it's that.
Yeah.
It's a little folk song, and you'd play it, and you'd have the whole place singing along because everybody knows someone who's a wanker at the pub. Everybody, there's always one. You sing the song, and they all look at the same bloke and go, "This is about you."
It's him.
And that was just the fun of it.
But I think that level of humour as well was carried on because not only in that song, we'd have a good banner in between songs on stage. And we played this gig one time at this pub called the Lasagari in Newcastle, and there was all these younger bands on. Well, actually, this is sort of one of those gigs that we probably shouldn't have been on, but we just had to make the most of it. All these young bands are on, and they had all their young crowd. There was a fair few people there, but we had this song called Dry Suburb. So I just turned it into a bit of a lecture about investing in real estate. Then we had a banter about, you got to invest in real estate, but not in places where they don't have a pub.
Just full disclosure, I live in a suburb that doesn't have a pub.
That's the Dry Suburb.
Really?
Yeah. That's what Dry Suburb's about.
Not a pub, not a club, not a bottle shop, not a tavern, not a hotel.
No bowling club.
Nothing. You call that living?
Are you talking about I'm a wanker? You're a wanker? Give me
Sorry?
buffet. When you said the song, "You're a wanker" or something, was that Jimmy Buffett?
Not Jimmy Buffett. It could be Jimmy Buffett.
Could be. I don't know. That song actually.
I'll call him later.
But that was the fun thing about it, like, honestly, because you get on stage and we might have only had 40 minutes worth of music, and me and Tim would sit there and speak shit for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it'd be stuff like that. Now, kids, this song's about,
Yeah.
So we essentially sort of saw ourselves as like the drunk uncle of the local scene.
Yeah.
The drunk uncles, really, because we were a little bit older than we're a bit older than the other bands that were playing, and we we take liberty of giving useless advice to young people.
This was your dad's garage rock band.
It really was. Good fun, good times.
And I like doing stuff, Tim, that we were always told you weren't allowed to do.
Yeah.
You know, like, you can't do that. Well, we wanted a backdrop. You know, the band logo on a big banner at the back of the band. So Al goes, I've got an idea. I've got a leather guy. And we go, what the fuck are you talking about? And he builds this backdrop. I've got it in a box back there. And it was, 3 meters across? 2 meters
huge.
across? It was massive. And it had to be held up. He had these 2 heavy, juicy drum stands, cymbal stands. They had those up either side and a big wooden brace. This thing was made out of leather with fucking the band logo in leather on the front with 300 flashing lights on it.
No, the band logo is in coloured gaff tape.
Was it? I thought they were pieces of leather.
No, that was gaff tape. But we punched holes in it and we put all the Christmas lights through it, so it looked like.
Sure? I'll pull it out and I'll check.
No, I don't think we had. I don't think we had leather. I think I was there when we did the gaff tape.
It was heavy as.
Oh yeah.
But who else has a giant fucking leather backdrop?
No one.
Can't be done.
Yes, it can. It was done. But it hasn't been done since.
There's this thing on YouTube. It's a NoFX gig, and he goes, "Oh, right, they got this little NoFX fucking thing banner behind the drummer and shit." And Fat Mike said, "Oh, blah blah blah, fucking, we're sick of our little fucking name coming on." And then a big backdrop come down behind the drummer, and it was massive, and then all you saw was NoFX, which was the same size of what the first.
Just on a bigger flag.
So it was just this big fucking red thing, and with little NoFX.
They're a fun band.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
But you got to have fun. That's the thing. I don't care what band I'm in. You got to have fun.
Did you hear
Absolutely.
Remember, there was at a country and music festival, some guy went in there and started shitting the place up, and killed 18 people. Fucking
Was
blah,
that the
blah,
one in
blah.
Vegas?
It might be. I'm not quite sure.
When did this happen?
I couldn't tell you, honestly. 2016 maybe or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Mandalay Bay or one of those joints.
Yeah.
And Melbourne, they're playing at that area, where it happened. And Melbourne got on the subject and said, and the last thing he said was fucking, this was on the Punk in Drublic tour.
Right.
Melbourne goes fucking, well, at least they were fucking country music fans and not punk rock fans. And the whole fucking tour was bands, their agents saying, "No, we're not playing unless fucking NoFX." And it was a NoFX. Fat Mike put it all together. But for the next 3 gigs, NoFX weren't allowed to play.
Yeah.
Because of that remark that they said.
Yeah.
Which,
Stupid comment.
Yeah. NoFX are good at that. They just don't think before they speak. I reckon they're crazy motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Were you given any sort of advice? Actually, you've been around for a while doing other projects and everything. How do you feel, or how do you think the scene's changed now the internet's in the picture? Do you think there's
I think it's making it makes it easier for people to get heard.
Yep.
It's all about knowing how to use it. I don't
Yeah.
think if it hasn't hurt in any way, but I don't know. I've never signed a record deal or anything like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Every gig I've been to lately, there's lots of people coming out of all ages.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just I was speaking to someone else and they said they got a check for like $10 from Spotify. Yeah. Spotify said you get 0.0005 of a cent every time someone listens to one of your songs.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? You got to have 100 people to listen to that song to get $1 kind of thing. That, like,
Write better songs. Write better songs. That's all I can say. Write songs that more than 100 people want to do.
exactly.
Yeah.
Thing is, hang on, I'll just shut this door. Hang on. Get it. Right, I'll meet you there. Sorry, cricket's happening. Like normal bands like us are never going to make money out of selling records because you're not getting signed or anything like that. So the joy of a Spotify or a Bandcamp or those kinds of things is that somebody might listen to music who wouldn't necessarily get it.
Yeah,
You know? I think if you're thinking you're going to make money out of it, you're doing it for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. Look, that's how I get music out there. If somebody wants to listen, great. You know? I've never made money out of playing music ever, so why should I start now?
It's all for the fun of it, isn't it? It's
absolutely.
You got dickheads whinging about the cover price to get in to see bands.
Oh yeah.
And then $200 on alcohol.
Oh God.
I went to a gig not long ago. It was there was 6 bands, and by the time the last band come on, the other 5 would already left.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, I thought that is the most pathetic fucking bullshit that unethical. It's band playing unethical bullshit. I couldn't believe it. It was everyone. It wasn't just like one band or 2 bands. Everyone fucking that was in the band that already played fucking left.
Yeah. I know. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to roll.
Yeah. And my phone's about to die too.
And I've got to actually take my son motorbike riding, so.
Hell yeah.
Oh mate, he's a fucking freak. He's
Oh yeah.
Oh nice.
Should see a 12-year-old like that. Scares the
Thanks
fuck
for your time, Matt. Thanks for having us.
Cheers, Jeff.
Be sure he's loud.